Today, we're digging into a blueprint for what we call true business intelligence. We're going to explore how leaders, especially in those really complex, multi-site operations, can finally move past the guesswork and get some real confidence in their data.
So let's just jump right in with the million-dollar question. Can you actually trust your operational data? I mean, really trust it. If you're like a lot of leaders out there, the honest answer is probably, not really. And that little bit of doubt, that's exactly what we're here to talk about.
You know, the problem usually isn't a lack of data. It's that the data is a complete mess. It's stuck on paper checklists, it's scattered across a dozen different systems that don't talk to each other, it's totally inconsistent from one site to the next, and by the time you actually get a report, the information is already a week old. Sound familiar?
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the core challenge of just trying to keep an eye on everything. Then we'll get into how to capture data you can actually trust. After that, we'll connect the dots with a real-world example, see what decision-grade intelligence really looks like, and then we'll take a little peek into the future with something we call Albert AI.
First up, the Oversight Challenge. This is really about making a huge shift, getting away from that constant reactive firefighting mode and moving towards proactive strategic foresight.
And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of it. Without data you can rely on, even the most basic questions are impossible to answer. Are we genuinely getting better? Or are we just, staying busy, running around, putting out the same fires week after week? Okay, so let's talk about the solution. It all starts with capturing trustworthy data. See, real business intelligence isn't some fancy dashboard you tack on at the end. It's what happens naturally when you build a better data foundation from the ground up. And here's the crucial shift in thinking. The old way is trying to clean up messy data after the fact, which is a nightmare. The Safely approach is to solve the problem right at the source. It's all about creating an integrated ecosystem where clean, structured data is just a natural byproduct of your team getting their work done.
So what does this ecosystem actually look like? Well, it's built on these core pieces that digitize your whole operation. We're talking digital forms instead of paper, a smart calendar for all your jobs and tasks, automated monitoring with IoT sensors, built-in management for food, beverage, and inventory, and one central place for all your important documents.
And the result of bringing all this together? Simple. You get data that is structured, it's totally consistent across every single one of your sites, and, this is the big one, it's backed by actual evidence, like photos, timestamps, and user logs.
Okay, so let's see how this all connects in what we call a data journey. I know integrated platform can sound a bit like a buzzword, so let's make it real with a super simple, everyday example of how these parts work together.
So imagine this. A fridge temperature goes out of range. An IoT sensor automatically fires off an alert. But this isn't just an email that gets lost. No, it instantly creates a formal corrective action in the system. A team member is then automatically prompted to complete a specific checklist as proof of what they did to fix it, and every single step is automatically logged in a permanent, unchangeable audit trail.
And this shows you just how everything is woven together. That data from the IoT sensor, it automatically informs your food and beverage compliance, triggers dashboard alerts, and creates jobs. Those jobs are then resolved using forms, which provide the evidence for your audit trail and feed your reports. It's a perfect closed loop. You capture the data once, and it gets used everywhere it needs to be.
And all of this brings us to the real payoff, turning all that clean, connected data into what we call decision-grade intelligence. This is where you start to see the real strategic value kicking in.
And this is the absolute game changer. Every single metric on every single report is directly traceable back to verifiable proof. It's not just a number somebody typed into a spreadsheet, it's a result that's hard linked to a timestamped photo, a completed checklist, or an IoT reading. It's real. Once you have this level of trusted, connected data, you unlock insights that were, frankly, just impossible before. You can instantly see compliance hotspots across your entire state. You can track how fast corrective actions are actually getting closed. You can spot those reoccurring failures that signal a deeper problem. You can even draw a direct line between a specific freezer that's acting up and your rising food waste costs. This lets you fundamentally shift how you manage your business. Instead of trying to check on everything all the time, you move to what's called management by exception. The system does the heavy lifting, flagging the anomalies for you so you can focus your valuable time and your team's expertise only on the areas where risk and loss are actually on the rise. Now, building this foundation doesn't just solve today's problems, it gets you ready for the future. So let's look at the final piece of this puzzle, Albert AI. Think of it as your built-in intelligence layer. With all of your operational data finally clean, structured, and connected in one place, Albert AI lets you question it with the same rigor you'd question your financial data. You can just ask it things. You can ask big, strategic questions in plain English. Something like, hey, which of my sites are drifting out of compliance the fastest this quarter, and can you show me the root cause? Albert can analyze all the trends and spit out an answer in seconds.
Or maybe you could ask something that hits the bottom line directly. Which specific pieces of equipment across my entire portfolio are most correlated with food waste and temperature problems? This is about finding and plugging the financial leaks in your operation.
And it goes way beyond just reporting on what already happened. Albert can give you predictive insights. You can ask it, based on leading indicators like missed checks or slow response times, which of my sites are most likely to fail their next big inspection? This is all about getting ahead of problems, not just reacting to them. When you look at it side by side like this, the difference is just night and day. You're moving from lagging indicators to leading indicators. You're going from that manual chase style of management to management by exception. And you're shifting from reactive firefighting to truly predictive insight. It's a fundamentally better way to run your business.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about for your own operations. Is your data actually building confidence for you and your team, or is it just creating more complexity, more noise, and more headaches?
Because with the right foundation in place, you can build a system that delivers not just more data, but true, actionable decision-grade business intelligence.